Hey guys, how are you guys doing? Oh man, welcome, one and all. Happy New Year. Oh goodness, there's such a delay and a feed here. Hang on. Oh goodness. Okay, I'm getting a feedback loop. Hey, what's up, Radar? It's 2021. We made
It is
it.
2021.
We
It's
did
fucking
it.
awesome.
We
Love it.
fucking did it, guys. I'm having all sorts of tech issues, but screw it. It's the new year.
You
We
know what's
did
the
it.
best part? Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, new year, new everything, new year, new hole," or whatever the fuck they were saying, and then like it's the same fucking tech issues, same fucking bullshit. It's whatever. I'm just happy to fucking be here, dude. I haven't been on the radio in like a month, dude. It's
Yeah.
like forever.
Dude, you're gonna have to turn your camera off and on again. You are spazzing the hell out. I
Why
don't
am I? I don't know what you did
I don't know.
here. Okay,
Yeah, that's there we
that
go.
one.
Let's we're starting
Oh,
out we're
did
starting
you
out
just break
great.
the computer?
We're starting out great, dude. This is
Did you get
awesome.
like computer corona or some shit or what?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. There's a good chance. Whatever. It is what it is. I mean, come on. Pop
Worst
culture
case in
warrior.
Ontario, I just turn my shit off anyways. Ain't no one tunes in to see me. Ain't nobody here be like, oh, I wonder what Rudolph's doing.
Oh
No, you
no.
know.
Hey, we're here. Pop culture warrior. We're back on the air. We took a holiday break. Everything decided to stop working. It's all good. Can we get a verify that we're even live at this point? I'd love someone to just thumbs up me and let me know we're alive somewhere. I'll pull up my own phone and check to see if we're, because at this point everything's not working. So
Yeah, what's
we'll
going on
we're
there?
good. Let's see. Yep, yeah, we're good. All right.
All right.
Anyway, whoa, boy, we got a lot to catch up on. How was your holiday season there, bud?
Dude, it was all right, man. It was. How was yours? I'm gonna defer to you because mine was awesome because I'm awesome.
Well, I mean, when you put it that way, like, what am I supposed to say? Hey, dude, your camera, like, I don't know if it's the internet connection or what, but your
My
camera
internet.
is, I don't know. One of us is bugging out, and I think I'm okay. I think
Oh,
I'm doing
I
all
think
right.
I'm okay.
All
I
right,
pay my bill.
whatever. Nobody call the paramedics. He's not having a seizure. It's
I'll just turn
just
my shit off. Bye.
just
I'll see you. Holy shit! I can see it in the feed now. Yeah, that's bad, dude. I haven't moved that fast in like 10 years.
Oh
Like
man,
next thing
you're having a full on seizure here. Let's remove that. How about that?
I just turned my camera
Let's
off, man.
just let's
Bye.
just take that away for a little while.
Oh,
We'll
you
go
can
old
Skype on
school.
again.
We're taking it straight back to the old school where we just hear your lovely voice and don't get
Nobody, I
video.
said, nobody wants to see me anyway. But I will say this: now I'm just a giant Skype logo in the front of your
Yeah,
face.
yeah, yeah. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. One thing at a time, dude. I'm a little
God,
rusty. It's been a minute since we've
it
been
has.
live.
Oh no, beer spilling.
Oh God. See? Definitely not on my side. Um
Always.
okay.
You know, like mom, and Spanky were like, you got to get the Shiner candied pecan. You
Oh
do.
man.
It's fucking amazing beer. Get that.
Yeah. I didn't even
Here's
do
some of
it.
that
I didn't do my
fuck.
whole spiel, man. Like, this is Pop Culture Warrior, episode
Hmm.
40. welcome, welcome everybody.
Speaking of pop culture warrior stuff,
What's
hey,
up?
did you see Wonder Woman 84?
I did. I did.
What'd you What'd you think of
Oh
it?
man, we're diving straight into it like that?
We're going
That's
straight into this because I have an opinion on this.
oh. Mm,
I do. How often
okay.
I don't normally have opinions on these things.
Mm.
I watched it.
Yeah, so if I'm being wholeheartedly honest,
Mhm.
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. I
All right.
I enjoyed the first one. I did. I mean, it wasn't perfect. I mean, very few movies are. But I
What?
enjoyed it for the most part. The second one kind of just, I don't know, it felt lacking. If I didn't know better, I would say, man, they really rushed this movie out. But I know they had like 10 extra months on it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but it felt a little underdeveloped. It felt there was too many different story threads and it was a big old mess. There was complicate like there's so many questions arise about why they chose certain things, why they went certain ways, the message they were trying to sell and send to the, like, I don't know, man. It was a muddled mess for me. I mean, there were parts I liked. There were scenes, and there were sections that I thought were really good. Um, but on the whole, it just I don't know. It felt subpar at best, which is disappointing because I thought they were, Wonder Woman was one of the better franchises that they had running in DC, and they really didn't. I don't know, step up for this one.
I'm really happy you just said all of those things because that's what I felt about it.
Okay,
Because
I'd
remember
love.
what
I
I
want to
said
hear. I
before?
want to hear
Okay,
Radar's take.
canon. I don't even really give a shit. I think it should be a decent movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it felt like it wasn't. It
Mm.
just didn't seem to. I was actually excited about it. You got me excited about it. I was looking forward to it
I'm
because
sorry.
it's basically been what 10 months late,
Yeah.
right? The
Yeah.
last time I had a woman 10 months late, I ended up with a baby out of it. Just saying. But anyway, I was like,
Damn it,
hell
that's
yeah,
good.
this is gonna be amazing. And I sat down and I watched it, and I was like, ah, is it
Mm.
supposed to be this bad? Like, because I haven't seen a new movie in a long time.
Yeah.
I've just kind of like been watching the ones that I like,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
on repeat and stuff.
Yeah.
Full Metal Jacket doesn't get old, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
And don't you think that being that it's the first movie in so long, your expectations would be lower? Like, right? Like anything would be good compared to not having anything, right? So don't you think like, oh man, we would really enjoy it no matter how bad it was because like we have nothing. And yet, eh,
I kind of wish they wouldn't have nothing.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I wish that, and this is what okay, this is what I think this was like my benchmark for things. Okay,
mm.
it
Well,
was basically ready. It was basically ready in what March? Was it March? It's supposed to be its initial release.
the initial was no, the March was supposed to be like Black Widow was March of last year, and then this was supposed to be I think because it takes place the movie starts in like the June July time frame, and I think that's when they were releasing it. It was supposed to be a summer release, so like June July.
Yeah, and then there because it was supposed to release. There was one time it was supposed to come out on my birthday on
Mm,
August 15th. I remember.
yep.
Um, but I thought that was one of the same times it got pushed back. Anyway, back to the story. They had time to fix it. They had time to really, and we talked at length about this. Like,
Yeah.
how is this going? We should be getting a better product because of the coronavirus and all
That,
of the things that should be
but
happening.
I will say though that um hang on one second. I will say that there is getting a thing that's no yeah it should be it should be good. Yeah no sorry I'm slightly distracted as I'm trying to get all this stuff working because I'm hang on.
Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, so no, we did talk about that having, you know, Wonder Woman have more time and all these things have more time to develop. But let's remember, the movie was shot 3 years ago at this
Mm-hmm.
point. Well before the shutdown, the movie was already done filming. So at that point, once the shutdown happened, they can't go back and film stuff. They're only left with what
But
they
they had
have.
10 months of CGI and post production and all these things. They could have like
Yeah.
refined it.
Yeah, you like I mean, but again, it's like you can only you can only do so much. It's different if it were like an animated movie or a fully CGI movie. Then like yeah, with 10 more months, you could throw in whole other scenes, throw people in the voiceover booth, and you're good to go. But being that it's a live action movie, they can't create new scenes. Like if you're sitting in the editing bay and you're like, oh damn, we really need a scene right here. They can't just go back and shoot it real quick like some movies could, because everything was shut down. Um, that being said, maybe it's a case where the movie was overcooked. Maybe the 10 extra months, like when you like you're doing a painting, right? And you're like, well, it's done, but let me just, and then let me just a little here and a little, and next thing you know, you have this huge blob mess. That you're like, oh man, I really shouldn't have tinkered with it. You know,
Question.
maybe that's the
I'm gonna
case.
interrupt you because
Yeah,
I'm on a roll here. I
yeah,
got my brain.
go
My
for it,
brain's going.
go for it.
Okay, what if this?
Hmm.
Okay, all right. Think of it this way. You think of like some girl you've always wanted to get with, right? Like, God, she's hot. I really, really, really want to. I want a chance at that, right?
Right.
You get your chance. She's horrible, right? It's so built up that you're just like, that kind of sucked. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Whereas if this was a normal year, right, and we had a whole new movies coming out every month, every week, da 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 da. We had a whole selection of movies to choose from. That it wouldn't have been that giant climactic. We've been waiting for this. It's got to be good. It just would have been like a normal movie. It might have got a little bit mixed reviews, but like, it's not so bad. It could be worse. Could be better. They got da 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 da. Because it was the only thing really coming out. But because we had been waiting on it so long, we built up our expectations. It had become our hero. It had become our savior in a way,
Yeah.
right? And we saw it, and it wasn't bad. Right, I didn't think it was bad.
Right. No. Yes, I agree with you there.
It just wasn't good. And so if it
wasn't
a
a bad
normal
movie.
year, if this had come out, there was no coronavirus. It just happened to be. We might have got kind of a mixed review on it. We wouldn't have got our hopes up for it. It kind of would have been like, whatever. And there would have been some people like going back to you. I'm deferring to you. You get into the canon and the franchise a lot more than I do.
Sure.
So you may have been a little bit more let down than I, because I just would have I want to go to a movie. This one's playing. Let's go check it out.
But see, this is Radar. This is where I disagree, because in a normal year, imagine that movie is the movie you go to after you just saw Endgame or Spider-Man or any other really good movie. I think then it fares worse. I think we're like, it was okay because it's all we had. Whereas if that had come out after Black Widow, like it was supposed to, and all these other movies that hopefully are good, then you're going to go, wow, this was a turd. Like, compare it to those movies I just saw last week or 2 weeks ago, this was a dud. But the fact that we don't have anything to compare it to, and really the only thing that's come out this year is like Milan, digital, and I think Tenet was in theaters for like a week or two. So you really... it's short-term memory where you're like, well, I don't really have anything to compare it to. It was all right. So I think it's faring better than it would have because of COVID. That's what I think.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, dude. I think it was something, because we've talked about it at length, basically for a year, right? I think it's kind of, I think Wonder Woman was kind of like that hot girl you went to high school with, and you finally get a banger when you're 30. You know what I mean?
And you're just disappointed.
You're like, God, you really aren't that good at this. You should have hoed around more. You know what I mean? And I think maybe Wonder Woman should have hoed around a little bit better. I think there could have been some refinement in the post-production stuff that they had time to do that they didn't.
I think there were some poor choices. Yeah.
I think there were some poor choices. I think there was some holes in the stories. I think it wasn't great.
I mean, yeah.
It was the girl who got married out of high school and needed to hoe around a little bit to be better when she was 30. I really think it.
She finally got divorced, was on the market, and you're just like, wow, you're really bad at this.
You're really bad at this. You should have done classes or something.
Should watch one of those online tutorials they have everywhere.
Yeah, they're called porn.
I like to think of them as training material.
They are videos.
But no, you're right, dude. And let's not get started on the whole like. So Steve Trevor is back. Sorry, spoilers alert for those that didn't see it and want to be surprised later. Good luck. Steve Trevor's back, and he's possessed the body of a living person. Why?
I don't know what that means.
Why?
Are you talking about porn again?
No, I mean, the guy, remember the guy comes back and she's like, oh, you're back in my life. He didn't just come back, like he died, 40, 50, 60 years ago, whatever it was. They could have just brought him back, like his body, like he's back. But instead, it's his soul and spirit possessing a person that was living in this time. Why? Like to me, that's such a dumb choice. It's such a dumb choice. And it brings up so many questions. She basically raped an unwilling man. The guy wasn't in his body. Steve Trevor took over his body. She slept with him. That guy didn't give his consent. You know what I mean? To have himself possessed and then sleep with Wonder Woman.
Going off on a fucking bug. Look.
I'm just saying.
Let me give you a little rundown, because apparently you don't know how this works. Okay.
Nobody would disagree with sleeping with Wonder Woman. Nobody would say no.
Yeah, for one. For one.
What if the guy was gay? What if he was a gay man that Steve Trevor took over his body and now had sex with Wonder Woman? I think he would very much not be happy about it. Just saying.
All right. This is how this works, okay? If a woman is in the park, right? Running through the park, gets raped in the bushes, right? You won't see a woman in that park for 6 months.
Hmm.
Okay. Dude running through the park gets dragged in the bushes, raped. He's gonna go back tell his buddies, dude, how's the crazy thing happened? I was running through the park. This fucking chick like threw me on the ground and sucked my dick. It's crazy. And then the next night, you're gonna see a million fucking dudes running through the park, right? Just saying, especially a chick as hot as Wonder Woman.
I mean, again, yeah,
You know what
possibly.
I'm saying?
I just,
You know what I mean? Like, he may woke up that morning and be like, you know what? I don't know if I want to bang anybody today. I got kind of a headache. And then it's like, well, guess I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Like, no, ain't no dude gonna be like, man, I got raped. It happened. I mean, could happen. Probably not.
anyway, but like, there's just so much with that movie that I was just like, why?
It just was whatever. I'm done.
They gave her, now she can turn things invisible. What the fuck is that? What is that?
Yeah, it's whatever. It's a movie.
Then for no real reason, because then like 10 minutes later she can fly, like, and then let's not get started. It's Steve Trevor's flying this jet. He comes from World War One, and now he can fly a '80s fighter jet.
Yeah. If Tom Cruise can do it.
I mean, just so many things, so many questions. The more you pull at the threads, I mean, the whole thing falls apart. I just
see, and this is why I like being me. Because that whole like, well, who's a pilot? You can fly a plane. Never thought like, well, you just went from flying a Sopwith Camel to a whatever. I get that. All right, cool. I get. To me, it's fun. Whatever, dude's flying a plane. I'm sure. You know, whatever. You're like, well, how could he go from flying like an advanced jet fighter? That's ridiculous.
right, but okay. So a time travel movie where an old school Native American's riding a horse. Next thing you know, he's in present day New York. They throw him on a motorcycle. He should just be fine. He should be like, wow, it's like riding a horse.
No, I'm not saying that at all. But this is like that's splitting hairs. If you're me,
no, it's not splitting hairs.
Okay, you're me. You got to think of it like this way. Okay,
right.
I'm me. I'm dumb. I just want to watch a fun movie.
Right. You have to suspend disbelief. Right.
I'm not trying to fucking analyze it. I want to see cool shit happen. I want to see explosions. I want to see fucking all the fun shit, right?
Yeah.
Like you're turning into like the vet bro who's like, you know, that M4 had like a 15-inch barrel with it at 14 and a half. That 203, there's no way. That's like 250 meters. That's a really hard shot, that 203. Don't fucking bullshit, man. Don't pull this shit with me.
I mean,
dude's a pilot in a plane. What fucking more do you want?
So one of the Wright brothers gets teleported into present day. He should know how to fly a plane.
Brother to me, brother. Just say.
I'm just saying, right? Like, does that make sense to you?
Does it make any more sense than teleportation?
I mean,
no,
I guess not. He
just teleports here. Fucking teleported. That answers your question.
Oh, man.
Anyway, Heath Barlow says you need to shave your chin and leave your mutton chops and stash. And I'm not against this, Chester A. Arthur. Look, you could have going on here.
Hey, you know what though? I think I would kind of look like Wolverine, don't you think? Like if I did the mutton chops, took the goatee out, right? I've thought about this before. You know, I grow out the sides, I pull this part out. I think I could pull off a Wolverine. You know, real.
Cosplay Wolverine every Tuesday night.
Oh man, thanks, Josh. What's up, bud? Thanks, beard looking sexy. I appreciate it. Now, yeah, it is what it is. Hey, real quick, you know, I just had a thought. Do you realize that February 8th, 1 month ish from now, marks our 1 year anniversary?
Does it really?
It really does.
I love it.
We technically launched February 11th of 2020. You could say we brought on the coronavirus. I don't know. I mean, you could. It's a little coincidental. But we brought on the end of the world. But that being said, yeah, man, our February 8th episode, 1 month from now, will mark our 1 year anniversary. I want to do something special. I'm going to figure out something that
I don't know if you understand how this works, but I feel like the 8th won't be a Tuesday.
No, it will. I checked.
Doesn't it change every year?
No, last year was February 11th was the Tuesday.
Oh, okay. So February 8th. All
Right.
right.
That episode would
I'm
mark the
tracking.
1 year of our show. I
Oh,
did not specify. That week would be
that
our
week.
one
That's
year.
the 52nd week. Or
Correct.
whatever. Okay. I'm tracking. I
Correct.
get it. I get it. Yeah. All right.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah, no, we're
We should do a giveaway.
yeah. I've actually got a lot of stuff that I've been kind of hoarding to the side that I want to do a really big giveaway. I was thinking two things. We do like a big giveaway for those of you who attend live. I think it'd be a really fun show. Also doing like almost like let's do like an Ask Me Anything, where instead of just laying out the news like we typically do, let the audience just ask questions. What we think about certain topics. No, no holds bar, no pulling punches. You could ask about our service. You could ask about what we do. I mean, certain things will be kept secret, of course, but just let the audience run the show.
You want to ask if they want to know things about me. If that's all they have in their life is worry about what Radar is doing, if that's all they got. I mean, I'll answer whatever. I'll answer whatever. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Do it. Yeah, I'm in.
I think
I'm in. Let's do it. Yeah, we could do something. I don't know. Do you want to have a guest that night or no?
I don't know. We figured out we could play a game with the audience.
But yeah, we do audience game. We haven't done that in a minute.
We haven't done it in a minute, man. I was thinking of like doing like Among Us. You ever played Among Us yet?
My kids play it. I think it's dumb.
You get murdered all the time, don't you?
I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it. I know they're like, oh, that's sus. I'm like, shut the fuck up, kids. I know it has to do with Among Us. But I'm dumb, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Heath, shout out to Heath because he says he doesn't think he's missed a single show since we started. I can vouch for him.
Better than me. I missed a show or two. Good job, buddy.
There you go. There you go. Our boy Radar's missed more shows than Heath, man.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Heather, what's up? How you doing? How you doing? Hi,
yeah. Heather, how are you?
Yeah, it's one of those things, man, that I think we should do something special. Like I said, big giveaway. I got a ton of really cool stuff that I've been hoarding on the side and wanted to do something special. So that'd be a really cool thing too. But hey, let's talk about some stuff.
We could totally do something fun. I mean, God, what can we do though? I mean, because the giveaway's fun.
We'll figure it out.
But that's only like a couple minutes.
Yeah. Well, that's why I say we do the
tournament.
Hold'em tournament.
All right, I'm in.
Live? Oh, that's gonna be thrilling.
Come here to Deadwood, dude. We could do like a live show from Deadwood. You do that?
I don't know. I'll think about it. We got time to come up with some ideas.
But like, we could actually go to like one of the casinos in Deadwood, and like play a poker game. Like, yeah, we could do that.
I mean, we could
on the air.
We could. Doesn't mean we should. There's a difference.
We could have games. We could play like beer pong, but like virtually. Do they have like a virtual beer pong? That'd be fun.
I'm sure they do. Chris says we should do an e-bike pop culture warrior meetup outside of New York City. All right, I'm down. Yeah, you got e-bikes enough for everybody? I'm down.
Bring up. I don't need a motor. That's dumb. Actually, you know what? I was thinking about that.
In New York City, you'd probably, last thing you want is.
So here's it has been unseasonably warm here.
Mm-hmm.
Like this time of year, we normally have like 5-foot snows, right?
Okay.
I have 0 snow in my yard. None, not at all. Okay. I actually went for a bicycle ride the other day. Right, took my mountain bike out, and there's a mountain. It's a pretty good sized mountain. It's called Lookout Mountain, right south of town here. And I got my little bike out, and like started pedaling up the hill. I'm like, this is dumb. And like, so I pedaled like 3/4 of the way up, and I was tired because I'm fat. And then so I just pushed it the rest of the way to the top of the hill, and then like rode down, like because it's like I don't know, like a half-mile climb. It's like you climb like 3,500 to 4,000 feet. And like half a mile, like it's pretty steep on the one side, and then you ride down the other side, and it's like 11 miles, almost all downhill.
Right.
And thinking about it, and I need to find a way to get up to that point so my fat ass don't have to pedal no more. I'm trying to get like ski lift or some shit put in there because I'm old and this is dumb. So maybe I could be a bike thing.
Too good. Congrats to was that Dave? Yeah, Dave, who made CW4. Congrats to you, man.
Bullshit. You get promoted at like you just one day like you wake up and you see a CW4. Like I think I've only ever seen 2 my whole life. Good job.
Good job, man. Good job.
Sir.
Hey, so let's talk about some stuff that happened while we were gone. So Disney, I'm sure you haven't heard, but Disney had their big investors meeting, and they basically turned it into like a mini Comic Con where they just dropped so much knowledge as far as what the future is for Disney. Now, remember, Disney owns Marvel, they own Star Wars, they own anything coming out of Lucas, they own Fox and all that, all those properties. So they dropped a huge ton of stuff. So as far as Marvel goes, I mean, I had the list here and it's ridiculous. So we got a new WandaVision trailer, which 10 days. You want to see something good? 10 days from now, Disney Plus, WandaVision drops 6 1-hour episodes starting January 15th. I'm super pumped for that. I think it's going to be really good. Soon after that, they showed a trailer for Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's March 19th. 6 1-hour episodes again. They also dropped a trailer for Loki, which looked phenomenal. 6 1-hour episodes. That's May. They announced, we knew Marvelous Miss Marvel was coming. We've seen the pictures. We knew Hawkeye's coming. We've seen the pictures. They showed She-Hulk. They officially announced Tatiana Maslany is She-Hulk. They also announced that, yes, Mark Ruffalo will be a part of it as the Hulk, and that they're bringing back Tim Roth as Abomination. So that's a huge deal because that's the Edward Norton Hulk movie, and they're bringing back Tim Roth as Abomination from that movie. So that's pretty cool. We have a little connection to the original Hulk of the MCU, Edward Norton. They announced, what else? Secret Invasion, this is something I've been saying was going to happen the minute that Captain Marvel came out and they did Skrulls and all that. One of the biggest storylines of all time was Secret Invasion in the comics. It's basically that these Skrulls who can shapeshift basically body swap for superheroes. They basically pick and choose, and they capture them and then take over, trying to secretly subterfuge their way into the superhero world. Anyway, so we're getting a Secret Invasion miniseries that'll have Sam Jackson. It'll have the guy that played Talos, the Skrull Talos, and a bunch of other people. Thor, Love and Thunder. We knew Chris Hemsworth back. We knew Natalie Portman back. We know Tessa Thompson. We know Taika Waititi was directing. We found out that what's his name? Christian Bale is playing the villain, Gore, the God Butcher. That should be freaking awesome. One of the biggest announcements, and I actually had a picture for this. You know what? Let me just, why didn't I? I don't know. I had a picture for this. One of the biggest announcements was actually Fantastic Four. We knew it was coming. But they finally announced it as a thing. They announced it as okay, this is happening. So where's my picture? There it is. Hey-oh. So these are a lot of things they announced for Marvel. So we got that the Fantastic Four reboot is happening. They've given us nothing as far as details, dates, people, anything, but they did say the director is going to be John Watts. And if you're not familiar with the name John Watts, he's the guy that did the last 2 Spider-Man movies, Homecoming and Far From Home. So
yep.
That's, if you liked the comedy, the action, the story of the last Spider-Man movies, that's going to give you an idea of what the Fantastic Four, which I felt like of all the Marvel properties, Spider-Man is closest to Fantastic Four in the sense of lightheartedness. It's about family. It's about struggle. It's not not the billionaires that Iron Man stuff. It's not the superpowered, crazy, godlike superpowers. There's somewhere more in the middle. So I think having that director is going to be great. They announced Armor Wars, which is another going to be another small screen series, bringing back Don Cheadle as War Machine, and the idea.
I do love Don Cheadle.
He's good.
I love him. He's awesome.
He's really good. So this will take place after the death of Iron Man. It basically, the series will ask what happens when Tony Stark's armor falls into the wrong hands. So that's going to be Armor War. So obviously people will be trying to fill the Iron Man role, and it bad things will happen. And so Don Cheadle's got to come in and kick some ass. There is going to be an Iron Heart series. Those that are familiar with comic books know that Iron Heart is this girl named Riri Williams who basically becomes Iron Man. Iron Man died in the comics, much different than how he died in the movies, but he was gone. And Riri Williams is this super intelligent little girl that basically builds a suit of armor and becomes Iron Man like. She calls herself Ironheart. And so they announced that Dominique Thorne will be playing Riri Williams. What else? Guardians of the Galaxy, we knew was coming back with James Gunn as the director for Volume 3. That's 2023. But they also announced in the meantime, he's going to do a standalone Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which will be releasing 2022. Also, on top of that, they're gonna do a shorts, like a bunch of shorts of Baby Groot. Baby Groot's gonna have his own like I Am Groot series, where it's like it's again little shorts that 15 minutes where they get to play with kind of really random and wild out there characters. Think like Howard the Duck and things like that. So what else? Dude, this list is ridiculously long. They did say that they're going to respect the passing of Chadwick Boseman. There will not be there will be a Black Panther 2, but that they won't do CGI. They won't do a recasting. They're basically going to, the quote is, the sequel will explore the world of Wakanda and the rich characters introduced in the first film. So it's basically a Black Panther 2 without Black Panther. I still think that at some point they're going to pass the torch somehow, but I think they're still trying to kind of figure out what's the best way forward with that and how to do that. They announced Ant-Man 3. The name is phenomenal. It's going to be called Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I mean, what is that? But that sounds awesome. It's going to be Peyton Reed, who's directing again. Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer, everybody. And a strange turn of events is the girl who played the older version of his daughter in Endgame was recast. And instead, they're bringing in Catherine Newton. I forget what she was famous from. She did Freaky, I think was the show she did, Freaky. And she'll be playing Cassie Lang, Ant-Man's daughter. So it's strange that, they a lot of people were happy with the girl that did the Endgame version, although it was a very short point, but were happy with that, and then they decided to recast it. And then bringing in Jonathan Majors, who's hot off of Lovecraft Country, he will be playing Kang the Conqueror. We talked about it a lot, about how it was speculation. Yes. And then lastly, we have the official release date for Thor Love and Thunder is now May 5th, followed by May 5th, 2022, followed by Black Panther 2 being July 8th of 2022, and Captain Marvel 2 being November 11th, 2022. So we got a lot. That's the next 2 years, basically. Like all that was supposed to be the next 4 years or 3 or 4 years, but because of COVID, like crunching it all together, and that's not, we didn't talk about Eternals, which is coming out, Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings, which is coming out, Moon Knight. We didn't touch on a couple of them, but Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man, with the fact that they're bringing back like everybody that's ever played a character in any Spider-Man movie ever apparently is coming back. They've talked about Alfred Molina. They talked about Tobey Maguire. Everybody has been named at some point. Willem Dafoe. Anybody who's ever had anything to do with Spider-Man apparently is coming back for the next Spider-Man movie. The one person that I would say now I feel is not likely to return, it was announced today that Emma Stone is pregnant. She was spotted out in LA somewhere with a big old baby bump. And they're currently filming Spider-Man 3. So probably not going to be returning as the second MJ if unless they do like some weird cameo where you don't really see her belly, kind of just like it's all, or make that part of the movie. In that universe, Spider-Man knocked her up. I don't know. Maybe that works. You write it in. I don't know. They've done it on TV shows, right? You know, some character gets pregnant and they're like, all right, fuck it, right into the story. You know, you're pregnant now. So
Oh, you're pregnant now. Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, I guess your character's pregnant now. So yeah, so just a crap ton of Marvel news, man. Like, dude, I was just rolling as this stuff was coming off the screen. I couldn't. Oh man, it was crazy, crazy. All that. What are your thoughts? I just gave you a lot. I just gave you a lot.
You gave me too much. You gave me too much. And here's what I'm going to say. Okay. They touched on so much of it, but they didn't really give. I didn't see many specifics.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
I'm not a shareholder.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go big picture on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think Disney's still reeling from the pandemic and all the things, and is kind of saying, stick with us.
Right.
This is what we want to do.
Yeah.
This is what we have planned. This is what we got cooking. Stick with us, investors. We got this.
Yeah. We have a plan. Because that's exactly it.
Happen.
Yeah.
But like a couple weeks, Joe Biden's going to be president,
mm-hmm.
right? Then the coronavirus is going to disappear. And we will be able to do whatever we want again. Go to the theaters.
Right.
Go to Disney World. Go to Disneyland. Go to Disney cruises. Go to whatever, Disney. Because mm-hmm. Disney owns everything once the coronavirus is gone.
Right.
They're saying, stick with us. We've got this. We've got you, fam. Just hold on.
Just roll tide. Just hang on.
Oh, that's what they're doing. And it's not a bad play on their
end. I think you're right. In partly because they did have a roadmap, right? Because post Endgame, as they were ramping up to Endgame, they were already, and this was 2 years ago now, they were thinking, okay, long term, what's next? What is our next phase? Phase 4, phase 5, phase 6. What is our next? And we know Eternals was already shooting, and Falcon and Loki and Doctor Strange, all these things were already in the works. Black Widow's been sitting on the sideline just waiting to go. So it's not like they just pulled all this out their ass. They definitely had a roadmap, but this is the first time that they're kind of laying it out there and giving people a taste of what's coming. And I agree with you partly because, like, we need to show something. Like, we need to show some good faith. I feel like they built up good faith in that, hey, we've released good product after good product after good product. Like, when it came towards Endgame, everybody's like, what's next? And they're like, dude, just pump the brakes. It's coming. Relax. Take it easy. And they were allowed to do that because they had built up that credit. But I think you're right that because of the pandemic that no one could have seen coming, that kind of credit was kind of running thin, and people were like, dude, give us something or we're done. Like, we're out. And so I think this was definitely a show of force. Like, look, we know we haven't been able to give you anything this year. This is the first year without a Marvel property since 2008.
Right.
And so they're like, look, I mean, it is what it is, but we got you. Like, here we go. This is all the stuff. We're laying it out in front of you. This is your life for the next 3 to 5 years. This is what you have to look forward to. And I think everybody's doing it a bit because even DC is trying to do it sort of. And HBO Max is like, yeah, we're getting this, we're doing this, we're doing that. Everybody, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Netflix, everybody's like chomping at the bit to be like, hey, look, we got this coming. To just like, hey, hold on, give us some time to, catch back up to speed. And, but as a Marvel fan, as a person that really loves this stuff, I was just super excited. I was super excited because they did show trailers for like the next 5 or 6 projects, right? So they showed Falcon, they showed WandaVision, they showed Loki, they showed a bit of the What If. They show, we've seen Black Widow stuff. So they showed stuff that's in progress, and then being able to announce like, okay, the next couple projects, here's who's involved. And then, past that, okay, we just have an idea of like a title, what it might be about, and the director attached, but that's it. So I think there was varying levels of how much they could show, for future projects.
Right. And I get that. I totally get it. me personally, am excited for a lot of the things that they've talked about. But I'm going to get back to this, and I think I'm gonna Tarantino it a little bit. Okay,
Mhm.
Wonder Woman 84. I was excited for it. Kind of sucked. Okay, so I don't want to get too excited about all it. They have so much potential,
Well,
and here's the thing.
well, that's
I think Disney has it in them to really get back on their game
sure,
and bring back the type of products that we expect,
sure. Well, that's true.
especially from the Marvel side of it.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't you can't. It's not apples to apples because you can't compare a DC product to a Marvel product. You
No,
know.
no, 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 no. But I'm okay. I'm not doing that directly. Okay. All right. I'm not trying to do that directly.
Right,
All
right.
right. But
Hmm.
what I am saying, I'm using that as
Guilty
sort of
by
a
association.
no, but I'm just using it sort of a okay. I get excited for things, and I don't want to get let down.
Right. I
Okay.
understand.
And
That's
so
fair.
I get excited. And I want, and I think I speak for a lot of people when I say this, that if they have the opportunity to really wow us and win us back. And I think there are some people who are maybe, been, like I said, this is the first time since what, '08? There
Hmm.
hasn't been a new film.
Yeah. Or some
And
type of project.
so
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can lose that audience, but I think they were kind of in danger in a way, right? Of kind of becoming stagnant and stale
Yeah.
in the Marvel universe. And so they're kind of at after Endgame, they're kind of at a situation where can we go and make it, they're talking about, changing characters and, like,
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. is kind of done and all this
Oh
other
yeah.
stuff. Blah,
This is
blah, blah.
this is the next chapter. This is what comes
Yep.
next after all
So is
that.
that
Yeah.
chapter, we can sit here and be excited about it. And I am, as long as it doesn't suck. And when you have this many changes, when you have this many kind of ebb and flow of things, people like people like Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? And we have come to expect Chris Hemsworth, and always, and so they have left very big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
so, in order to the content has to be good. You can say all, they can come out and say we're going to do this and this and this, but if it sucks, what's the difference?
Right.
You
Oh,
know what I mean?
absolutely.
And I think as far as that, and the investors go, nobody. If I had money, which I don't, I'm broke. If I had money, I wouldn't be doing this probably. I'd probably be like, I don't know, swimming in a Scrooge McDuck fucking vault full of coins or something. I don't do that.
Right.
But if in the event I had enough money to really be a hardcore investor in Disney, I would not be scared of my money going away.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I think that they are an established company, and they're going to do well. Nobody who invests a lot of money probably thinks otherwise.
Yeah.
But they still have to feed them. They still have to feed their investors, especially after everything that's happened. And I get that.
Yeah.
I just don't want them to rush these things to market in an attempt to make money and have them suck balls.
I saw Tina in the comments put that Disney stock has already rebounded to pre-COVID price. And I'm assuming it's because of this announcement.
Hmm?
So that shows that, there is some faith going into these movies. And see, Jim says Michael Keaton is going to be the new old Batman forever. Yeah, I mean that's what it's looking like. Is that, well, for those that don't know, there's going to be a Flash movie, and in that Flash movie, the Flash is going to like bounce from like to alternate timelines and alternate universes, and so he's coming from the Ben Affleck, Batman universe, the Zack Snyder universe, and he's going to somehow get into the old Michael Keaton Batman '89 universe, and that's going to be like how the movie goes or whatever. For everything I've read says that he's not going to be like everybody thinks, and even I did that. Like, oh, they're going to build the Batman Beyond universe where like there's a really old Batman and he takes in a young protege, Terry McGinnis, and trains him to be the new Batman. Everything I've read says that's not going to happen, and that this is just kind of a send off for Michael Keaton as Batman. This will be, the one and only time he suits up as Batman for this movie. It's not going to be like a trilogy or a series or spin off into it. Now, here's the thing: if that movie makes $1 billion, yeah, they'll just clone Michael Keaton and make the movie. Because I love when people go like, no, I'm just gonna do this one. It's not about nothing, blah blah. Blah. And then yeah, if it's super successful, yeah, they'll bring him back. They'll bring him back.
Oh yeah.
You know,
But
they'll back that money truck up to his house and look at your great grandkids ain't gonna have to work with the amount of money they're gonna pay him if it works.
which is kind of good because he's kind of washed up.
How dare you? Michael Keaton is a national treasure.
Michael Keaton's washed the fuck up. Anyway, back to the story.
He's a national treasure. God damn it, that's Mr. Mom to you.
Anyway, speaking of national treasures, I
yeah.
have been watching The Crown lately.
Dude, you and my wife. My wife is obsessed. Every time I walk into a room, whether it be our bedroom, the living room, or the kitchen, she's got The Crown on and she's watching it, and she's absolutely obsessed.
You know what hasn't disappointed me? Unlike Wonder Woman 84,
The Crown. You're
Actually, I'm not gonna lie though. Like when they switch, this isn't like this isn't a spoiler. The Crown's been out forever. If you haven't watched it yet, kind of whatever. Anyway,
spoilers.
So halfway through, they switch, right? Almost like all the characters, like they get new characters. Like the characters are the same, but they change all the people,
the actors.
Because everyone's young and now they're old. But like it happens like over like it's just like you start a new season, like everyone's like they're like all different. You're like that's not the same Prince Andrew at all.
Right. So... yeah, it happens, man. It happens.
But I get it. But I'm just saying, like maybe that's what they need to do with Marvel.
I mean, that's kind of what they're doing. I mean, think about it. Like they're bringing in all new characters.
No, not new characters though. Same characters, new people.
Yeah, I get. Yes. I get you. I mean, I don't know. I'm excited that they're going to be telling new stories, and not just more of the same.
Right. Well,
I feel like it's on the tip of your tongue, man. You want to say it?
Well, I'm just saying, like it could vary, and you're actually in some ways pushing for this. They can all mix into one thing, one universe, and they're all be the same, and they'll all be different. It could be, you can. Mm-hmm. It has a potential, and I hope it doesn't happen because I will. Well, I won't flip out. I don't really give that much of a shit. I just won't watch movies anymore.
Right.
But it could be like a Hallmark fucking Christmas movie. You know what I mean? See what I'm getting at? They have it there is a danger of that happening, where it's the same plot with different characters, different superheroes.
I see what you're getting at. I see
what I'm getting at. This is another when you start changing things too much, but you have to have something to hold the franchise together, right?
Sure. Well, that's
so you have to say we're going to go with Iron Man, right? You have somebody new in the suit and somebody new Iron Man and all new fucking whatever. You have to have something the same in order to make it the same.
Yeah. Well, but see, this is why I think Marvel is very smart, because you had the tentpole guys, right, that they were carrying the entire universe. You had your Iron Man, your Captain America, your Thor. They're carrying the universe. Now, they had a lot of B-level players. You had your Don Cheadle. You had your Sebastian Stan as Winter Soldier. You had Falcon. You had all these B-level players who were great supporting characters, but never really took the spotlight. Now they're getting elevated to the spotlight players, right? They're the future, like the future A-listers, while they now start bringing in more B-listers, right? That's kind of what they're doing, right? They made a Falcon and Winter Soldier series. They made a WandaVision series. They made a Loki series, a Hawkeye series.
Okay, so it's kind of like baseball.
Uh-huh.
You got like the major leagues, and
right?
You got, like
the minors. They went up into the majors, right? Exactly.
Yeah, they're retiring out Nolan Ryan and bringing out the guy from AAA.
Right. Exactly.
From, like, the Iowa Cubs.
And then they're backfilling all the lower guys to start filling that up, and then you've got like Miss Marvel. You've got the new Hawkeye that they're going to bring in, a new Hawkeye, the new She-Hulk. They're doing the Disney Plus series. That's the minors. That's the AAA. And then when they're established,
I'm gonna throw an argument into that though.
Mm-hmm.
That okay, on the heels of the success of The Mandalorian, okay, that the Disney Plus series, if done correctly, if done well, could actually do just as well, if not better, than the full-length feature films. What do you think of that as a counter to that? What do you think of that as not necessarily being like I understand that they make a crap ton of money off a full-length feature film.
Sure, of course, right? Of course.
But I'm not sure that there would be a Disney Plus right now if not for the Mandalorian, and it certainly wouldn't be at the level that it is.
Sure. Well, I mean, yeah. Remember, you got to go in a non-COVID world. They had a whole slew of things that were supposed to be released by now.
Yes.
We should have been 4 or 5 new series in by now, if
Mm-hmm.
not for COVID.
Right.
So yes, the Mandalorian is one of the few things that they have original. They have a couple cute Disney movies, and then a back catalog of original of older stuff, and then a
But you know what?
couple.
You know what I have of the older stuff?
Hmm.
DV fucking D's.
You
You know what
you do not have Darkwing Duck on DVD. I call bullshit right now.
I? Might.
You do not have Gargoyles on DVD. You don't have Airbud 2 on
No, I
DVD.
don't have Airbud 2, but you know who watched Airbud 2 last month? Fucking nobody. But you know what I do? Okay, because I'm gonna tell you this. I have Disney Plus for two reasons.
Uh-huh.
The stuff that I watch, and
Hmm.
I'm the one who pays for it. Suck it, kids. But I also have it because my daughter wants to watch Frozen. I
Yeah.
have Frozen on DVD. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they didn't have things that I wanted to actively watch, I can put in Frozen on DVD, or I could have bought Frozen 2 when it came out, or whatever. I could buy like a couple DVDs for what I pay a month for my Disney Plus subscription, right?
Hmm.
If they didn't have that kind of content, like The Mandalorian, basically, I probably wouldn't even have it. Honestly,
Yeah.
I wouldn't, because I like okay, like my one son likes to watch Cars, and actually one of my daughters loves to watch Cars, and the Cars franchise, right?
Right. Right.
I like the box set of the Cars DVDs for $10 at the pawn shop, right? They'd be just as happy about it. They don't bug out any different. So why should I pay for my Disney Plus subscription? I want things like The Mandalorian, The Falcon and Winter Soldier, things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I want things like that, and I think that I'm not alone in that, right?
I would think you're in the majority of that. Yeah.
Because like I have Netflix, I have Hulu, I have other things, I have The Crown. You know what I mean?
You
I
have the
don't
crown.
need Disney Plus. I don't need another streaming service. They need something to drag me to another streaming service,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So if they don't have these kind of things, and maybe it's the B. They don't make as much money on these, on me subscribing to that as they do, a big name release full feature film,
Mhm.
right? But it's kind of like one of those things like what's your bread and butter and then what's your consistent money. You know what I mean? And so I don't think they're going to cheap out on, and I think they have a lot of potential to make that good shit and maybe at least be on par with their full length feature films. And especially because when you have that sort of avenue, you have that sort of thing that you can actually tell a better story and get more in depth in the story than you can in just a 3 hour film or 2.5 hour film, hour and a half film.
Right.
So I don't know. I think that's we've talked about. I really think that the future in some of these, especially in the storytelling franchises, Marvel being one of those, that that's going to be the future of these things, or at least a big part of the future. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jim Hanks is on Peacock now. Yeah, well, you don't even got to pay for Disney Plus. You can get something like all those free ones. Or honestly, half the shit we watch in this house is YouTube because my kids want to watch other kids playing the same video games that they own. Sorry about it. But I don't know. There's a whole lot to think about this, and I don't think it's going to be just like the bullshit end of it. So
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Uh, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I got really nothing to add on to that.
Raiders today.
You're on point. You're on point, man. And yeah, I'm curious. You know, we're definitely gonna have to. We definitely have to go to break soon. Yeah. So guys, we're gonna hop off to a quick break. One, bear with me. There's no music. I'll have it up and running by next Tuesday. So just bear with us while there's a very quiet break this week. And then don't go anywhere because when we come back, we've got a very interesting guy. He's the founder and CEO of Move the World Films. He's a director, and his name's George Siegal. I doubt any relation to Steven Seagal, but
I mean,
Siegal?
but
It might be Siegal. I'll find out.
that's really good.
But it's gonna be a really interesting conversation, and Radar is actually gonna be part of it this time. unlike
What?
usually when he disappears. So he's
No, I'm
gonna
gonna
be
disappear.
he's gonna be participating with us. People want to
All right.
hear you
You can't
involved.
see me.
All right, guys, we're gonna go to a short break and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Chats. Hey guys, we are back with Pop Culture Warrior. This is episode 40. And happy New Year's to those of you who've just joined recently. Happy New Year. We made it to 2021. How exciting. Very excited to talk to our first guest of the new year. He is founder and CEO of Move the World Films. He's director of the 2018 License to Parent and 2020 The Last House Standing. Everybody, please welcome George Siegal to the show, guys. Mr. Siegal, nice to see you.
Hi. Hey, great to see you guys. Thanks for having me on. I
We're
appreciate it.
very excited to have you. There we go. There we go. There it goes. It was just a slight delay in your camera popping up, but we're good to go. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show and talk to us about your work. The first thing I'd like to ask every guest when they come on is, obviously we're a military affiliated ish kind of show, big veteran audience, big military audience. And so the first thing I always like to ask is, how are you connected to the military?
Well, my dad was in the Navy. He was in the Korean War, and he was a correspondent. So he had media in his blood. He would file reports from over in North Korea, South Korea, and so the military was always really important to us. And in the last couple of places I lived, San Antonio, Texas, huge military town, and now Tampa, Florida, with MacDill Air Force Base, big military town. So a lot of love and respect for anybody that's brave enough to make that commitment to serve the country, and I have a lot of respect for those folks.
Oh, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Well, and thank you to your dad for his service. The greater generation, in my opinion. I served as Radar served, both Army guys, but we have a lot of reverence for the reverence. God, reverence, Jesus. It's the first of the year. Reverence for the older guys who came before us. All right, so I mean, really, there's so much to dive into. Really, to give an idea to those that are watching and listening, give us a little bit of your backstory. How'd you get into making movies? How'd you get into this career?
Well, I started when I got out of college in TV news. I was a weathercaster, weather anchor, news anchor, feature reporter. I was a weekend sports anchor, and I did that till 2001. And then I just got tired of moving around the country and, having consultants and ratings determine my life. So I started my own video production company and eventually just turned to making documentary films. It's a great way to have a passion or something you care about, a project that you care about, and hopefully telling a story that can make a difference with your subject matter.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by this jump from something like Anchorman, Weatherman, to director. I mean, obviously, I'm sure you spent a lot of time around, directors and studio and the people doing the equipment. And, at what point, what moment, did the light come on that you go, oh, wait, I want to be on that side of the camera. I want to be the one deciding what happens.
Well, looking for a new challenge, doing the same thing every night. If you're a weatherman in a TV market, unless there's a major storm or disaster, you're pretty much doing the same stuff. And I was more into the entertainment aspect of it than the meteorological aspect of it. TV news has evolved dramatically from when I was in it, from where we were afraid to give our opinions to now that's all people do is give their opinion.
Right.
And I just didn't want to be involved with that business. I got tired of moving around the country. I mean, I moved every 3 years to another place, almost like being in the military, but my life wasn't on the line. And I just got tired of it. I wanted to do something where I was more in control. And being around the business, you observe a lot of people. There were people that I saw that I thought did a really good job and try to emulate some of the stuff they do. And I was always a good storyteller. So it was kind of a natural transition. The thing you miss is a regular paycheck, because when you work for a company, they pay you every week or two. When you work for yourself, it doesn't always work out that way. And but it's been challenging. You have to raise money for each film. It's an effort to do that. You think you have a great story, but if you don't have the money to make the film, it's hard to tell it. And it's very competitive. There's so many talented people in this field, but hopefully I've carved out a good space, and I think our most recent film, I think, can really make a difference.
Yeah, and so before we excuse me, before we talk about that, like, just I'm always fascinated in how people get into that line of work. You know, we've had directors, we've had actors, we've had writers, comedians, and it's always fascinating just knowing how we all kind of drift through life, and you know, factors decide one way or the other where we end up. You know, obviously you decided to start, you know, Move the World Films. Did Was that decision to do that come before, like, did that, was the predecessor to making the movies, or was that a necessity because of making the movies? Where did that kind of fit into it?
Well, I have a video production company, and I was doing, marketing videos and commercials, shorter form films for people. And eventually, it's very hard to raise money for a project. So I figured maybe a nonprofit would be a better way, because you can't go to anybody with a straight face and say, invest in my little film, you're going to make money.